Yeah. Oh, it's going to live.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it live?
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, the next start.
So we are just happy, and I think we should start the conversation now, officially and formally. All right. So welcome everyone, and welcome Patricia for um, to our podcast. And thank you so much for accepting our invitation and joining us today for this episode of the podcast. So, as our friends, our regular viewers might already know that we have been doing WordCamp Europe marketing, WordCamp Europe promotional podcasts since a few weeks, and today's is one of them. And I would like to also announce that Go with WP is one of the official media partners for WordCamp Europe 2024, and this podcast episode is one of the things that we have been doing for as the media partner. All right, so with that said, I think we would like to start with a quick introduction of Patricia from herself. Would you please introduce yourself?
Yeah. Yes. Hello, and thank you so much for inviting me here in this episode. I'm Patricia. I live in Geneva, near Geneva, in Switzerland. My native language is French, and my accent is French. And I contribute to WordPress mostly by organizing events, so events of WordCamp and meetup format, uh, as well as another format we did Community Day in Switzerland 2 months ago. And this year, I'm also an organizer for WordCamp Europe. I am in the volunteer team, so it means that we have to find about 200 persons to be volunteers during the 3 days of the event.
Wow. Thank you so much. That's a very concise yet insightful introduction, I'd like to say. And you mentioned that you contribute to WordPress project by organizing meetups, WordCamps, I think mostly in Geneva, in your home country, and this year in WordCamp Europe as well. So, is it your first time organizing the flagship WordCamp Europe?
Yes, it's my first year as an organizer, but I have been 4 times a volunteer before that.
Wow.
So I do now what others did onboarding me the other years.
Uh-huh.
I did the first time as a volunteer in Paris in 2017, WordCamp Europe
Oh,
in
okay.
2017,
Yeah.
and 3 more times like Berlin, Porto, Athens.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm an organizer. So
Wow. Yeah, that I can kind of understand the reason you applied to, and also the reason you got accepted, and you are leading the team. In fact, I was also a speaker at a WordCamp in our in Kathmandu, and then I applied as a speaker wrangler for the WordCamp Kathmandu 2022. And at that time, I had also taken I had also said that, okay, so my experience as a speaker would help me work as a speaker wrangler. And so, yeah, I also kind of worked, but I had the guidance of another co-organizer who had a long experience of organizing WordCamp Kathmandu as the speaker wrangler. So it really worked that way. And now that you have 4 years of experience, plus I think you have organized many other WordCamps in your hometown itself. So I think it's not a big deal at all for you. So I want to know since when you have started contributing to WordPress, or since when you started organizing the meetups and WordCamps.
Okay, so for the meetups, it was in 2013
Mm-hmm.
because there were two persons who were co-organizers in WordPress Meetup Geneva, and they
Oh.
were leaving Geneva. They were moving to
Oh.
to another town. So they asked in the members, you know, I had just joined, you know, 2012, end of 2012, I had just joined, and they asked, we need new co-organizers of the meetup group because we are going away.
Mm-hmm.
And two of us, we took over and we started organizing every month, meetup in Geneva.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2016, no, first I tell you about 2014 and 2015. So, you know, our country is kind of small.
Yeah.
So when there is a WordCamp, 2014 and 15, it was WordCamp Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
It was in Zurich, but it's only like 2 hour and a half of train, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
it's every person from the country comes. It's not local. I mean, the
Uh-huh.
whole country is like a big city if you want.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
people will join from even from the other side of the country.
Yeah.
And but in 2016, we wanted to move that WordCamp Switzerland to Geneva and make it a bit like WordCamp Europe, like every year
Uh-huh.
a new city. And so that's what we did. But at the level of community, you know, WordCamp Central, they said
Yeah.
from 2016, you cannot name with the country name, you have to give the city name.
Yeah.
So that was WordCamp Geneva.
Uh-huh.
But in real fact, it was WordCamp Switzerland because people also came from the other side of the country, and it was
Uh-huh.
the same. We are always people
Yeah.
from all the groups, and yeah. So what is nice in our country, we have several languages,
Mm-hmm.
and but it's not a problem. I mean, I talk in English with my friends from Zurich.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a problem to organize together. Sometimes it's in the French speaking part, sometimes it's in the German speaking part. So we had every year after that a WordCamp in Switzerland,
Mm-hmm.
except the COVID years, like everywhere.
Oh.
uh, so yes, that first time, 2016, that's where I learned a lot
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, that was my first time as an organizer and a lead organizer. And it's a bit different. You say that it's if we have done local, it's easier in the WordCamp Europe. The thing, of course, but the thing is that for a local one, when we are 15 organizers, you know, you see everything. You know
Mm-hmm.
uh, what the speaker wrangler has to do with the speakers, what the volunteer wrangler has to do with the volunteer. You have a kind of an overall view. For WordCamp Europe, we are more like in our team. I like we collaborate with other team, but we have a
Yeah.
lot of work in our own team. So we are more focused. I will not interfere with whatever happen in the design team or
Mm-hmm.
in the content team. You know,
Yeah.
doing mostly for volunteers, of course. So, but that, yes, it's good to have been an organizer in a local WordCamp and um, and then have the experience at WordCamp Europe is very nice. It's also much bigger, you know, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
A
this year
lot
we
bigger, I
are
think.
90, 90 organizers, about
Uh,
90.
Wow.
Yes.
That's great. And I was also checking WordCamp Europe website, and I did not count the total number of all the organizers, but I did for the volunteers team, your team, and you are 9 in your team itself, right?
Yes, we are 9 in the team.
Yeah.
In
That's
the
a that's a great number. And I think you are going to onboard, select maybe 200 plus volunteers, like you
yeah,
already mentioned.
yes, we already did that because now the event is in three
Yeah.
weeks and a half or something. So
Three
yes,
3 weeks, really.
yes,
Ah,
or
so
4 weeks or something. So
yeah.
yes, we had the call for volunteers started
Uh-huh.
at the end of December
Mhm.
and closed about in March. I don't remember, end of February or March. And so when people apply to be a volunteer, we have to vet them a little bit. We want to be
Yeah.
very welcoming,
Yeah.
very open, and we
Yeah.
want diversity.
Yeah.
But we want also people who are a little bit involved into WordPress. Not
Yeah.
necessarily. I don't mean that they have to have already contributed, but at least
Mhm.
if they do something related to WordPress. So this is important.
Yeah.
But we welcome newcomers because it's also very important that WordPress goes to new people. We would like the younger generation as well.
Mhm.
That would be nice. We have some new and some younger volunteers. That's really great. And we had about 280 applications,
Mhm.
and we accepted most of them. Like
Ah,
maybe we could not. We rejected like maybe 20 only,
okay. So
because
you have about
yeah.
250 or
No,
260.
no, because we know we have cancellations after that. So
Ah,
we
okay.
onboarded more, but I tell you about cancellation a bit later. I just want to tell why we rejected, because
Uh-huh.
I don't want people to feel like they have been rejected. It's not because of them. It's because we ask people to have to create a WordPress.org account
Yeah.
and to give us their social profiles, you know, to check
Yeah.
on X and Facebook, to
Mhm.
check if they are promoting. We cannot have people who are promoting like
Weeks.
certain. Yes, no, this is not a problem actually, because this is not a problem if they promote our work with Wix.
Yeah.
If they do, for example, for WordPress, if they sell a plugin that is not following the GPL, so this is a
Yeah.
problem, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
And some other have been too much into politics or religion, like
Right. Right.
extreme stuff. You know, if
Yeah.
people are extreme, we rejected too for that.
Mhm. Yeah.
But all the other we accepted. Or the people who didn't fill, you know, some people they just fill the name and
Uh-huh.
email and they don't
Yeah.
reply to the question, so we cannot say, you know.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. You don't see any commitment from them.
yeah,
So you
or
can't expect them to work committed with commitment during the event.
no, it's more because we could not check on who they
Oh,
are. Well,
yeah,
actually,
yeah, yeah.
but I mean, there was not only a few. Most of the other we accepted, and most of the other they are related to already. We know or we see for if they are working for a company or if they
Mm-hmm.
what they do on LinkedIn, and so this is we accepted most of them, but we have to take into account cancellations. And
Mm-hmm.
the problem is that cancellations are now, and it's because of visa
Oh,
issue.
yeah, right,
So
right.
we onboarded more people. So in the end, we will have enough, you know, because
Yeah.
unfortunately, a lot of visa rejection are going to arrive now in the last
Mm-hmm.
weeks. You know,
Yeah,
like last year, people canceled like maybe 1 week before the event.
yeah,
So we are we are expecting a certain number to to not be able to come, unfortunately.
yeah,
And to be honest, in my personal view on that, it makes me mad. You know,
yeah,
all
yeah.
the visa systems and all like Europe saying no to people from other continent. It makes me
Mm-hmm.
mad. I
Yeah,
really don't like that. And I'm sorry for all the people who cannot join us. Um, and really, it makes me sad because I had some messages from people saying I was so much looking forward and now I can't. And yeah, that's a bit sad. That's the how the world, the system works, and I don't like it.
yeah. Me neither. And I think it's really a problem for people from Asia, I think, South Asia mostly. I think Nepal, India, Bangladesh, I think we kind of have a similar kind of problem that we face a lot of difficulties during the visa application process. But anyways, I think some people could attend. Some people I know from Nepal, Bangladesh, India could attend last year, and I'm hoping some will attend this year. So
Yeah.
That's great, and I think that might help ease the process for everyone in the future. And maybe our global communities like this one, WordPress community, sort of give the positive message that is required, uh, maybe to change or let's say to enhance the system that exists. I'm just being very optimistic and hopeful.
Yeah,
And we talked, yeah, we talked about this last week as well with Anne. And yeah, she also shared the same opinion as you that, okay, this is not really good. Maybe we
yeah.
can do something about that.
Uh, the main thing I think what is difficult for embassies, it's when they are, I mean, when they think that maybe the
Mhm.
person will become like immigrate illegally and will stay in
Yeah,
Europe or stuff like that. That's why
yeah,
they refuse. So most of the
yeah.
time, if you can prove that you have, for example,
Mhm.
I don't know, a job or enough like money on your bank or stuff,
Mhm.
and that it shows that you will go back to your country, then it's much
Yeah,
easier. And
yeah,
also for people who already got a visa in a previous year, it's much easier because it's like a proof that person
yeah,
goes
yeah,
back home. You know,
mhm, yeah,
that's
Yes, yes,
Europe.
exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Main things not about the balance or seat. Main things if you are already visited, then 80% you are positive to got the visa. Last time I
Mhm.
have rejected, but this time I have got the visa. But
Yeah,
Great.
this time you also lost of guy, Indian guy, rejected. But my visa also I already pay for the courier and message things amount. But I got the call. I've not got call. I have directly called to Italy of visa office in the Mumbai, and he asked, okay, we have already sent the visa on Ahmedabad office, so you need to collect, and I've already sent you email, but I never get the email.
Mhm.
Then I asked, okay, then he re-forward the mail, then I contact with my Ahmedabad city visa office, then I got the visa from there.
Yeah, great. Anyways, you got it. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
That's nice.
nice that
Finally,
you will be
after some
there. Yeah,
struggle.
yeah.
Yes.
And you, Sunita, you have your visa or
Um, I didn't apply. I've not applied yet. Uh, I might apply next year.
okay, okay.
So
So
Sunita is not volunteer this time, I think, right?
I'm not. I'm
no,
not.
Okay.
okay.
Okay, so we were talking about the volunteer selection process, and you shared that you have already completed the selection process. And so, at what phase are you currently working? What are you actually doing with the selected volunteers? What are your plans until the event day?
Okay, so about 2 weeks before the event, we are going to open a tool for all the volunteers to be able
Mm-hmm.
to pick their shifts and
Uh-huh.
roles
Okay.
and times, you know. So
Okay.
Hmm.
we don't want to do it too early because of what I told you, because of cancellations. Because if there
Yes.
is a lot of cancellations, it's then we have to manage to move the shift to someone else. Also, it's more
Yeah.
complex. But about 2 weeks before the event, so it means soon. So we all the volunteers will receive a link to a tool, and
Mm-hmm.
in the tool all the shifts will be listed, and then you can pick your shift. For example, just an example, the registration
Mm-hmm.
on the Thursday morning will be the contributor day. So we need to all the people who are attending the contributor day, about 700,
Mm-hmm.
um, will come for their badge, you know, to get their
Yeah.
badge with their name and stuff. So we need people at the registration.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have about, I don't know, maybe 20 volunteers at the registration. And same
Nice.
on Friday morning, because the other people who were not at the contributor day, they still have to collect their badge on the
Mm-hmm.
Friday morning. So
Yeah.
I give you this example. So if 20% are necessary, in
Mm-hmm.
that tool for the Thursday morning and the Friday morning, it's listed 20. And a
Mm-hmm.
volunteer can click there and apply for that shift.
Mm-hmm.
And once 20 volunteers have chosen this one, it's full.
Yeah.
So, and all the shifts for all the kind of roles that are necessary for all the volunteers for the event. So
Uh-huh.
you can pick your shift and you can select 2 shifts.
Mm-hmm.
So if you absolutely want to see one talk at that time, so you don't choose a shift at that time, so you are free. At, yeah, you choose when you want to work. Actually, it's
Okay.
two half days over the
Okay.
3 days.
Okay. Two half days. So that's like 2 half days means about 8 hours, or
Yeah,
how much
about
would it
yes,
be?
yes, about some
About
of
eight
the shift
hours in
are
total.
yeah, some of the shift are shorter, like
Mm-hmm.
lunch orientation for lunch,
Mm-hmm.
to show where are where are the
Uh,
food point.
yeah. Yeah.
But yes, mostly it's like 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, you can do Friday afternoon and Saturday morning, and then you
Mm-hmm.
are free on the contributor day.
Yeah.
You are free the Friday morning and the Saturday afternoon. So
Yeah.
over 6 half days, you work 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
the volunteers.
Yeah. Okay. So do all the volunteers need to be physically present at the venue of to work as a volunteer, or some can work from anywhere they are remotely? So maybe uh, for our local word camp, we had some volunteers. We kind of had a very good. Those people are very well-known people in the community, and we could really trust them. So we had them handling the website content, like a blog post, and so while they were staying at home. So, is there anything that some volunteers would be doing, or do all of them have to be physically present at the venue?
All volunteers have to be physically present at the venue in Torino.
Mm. Okay.
Um, and some of the remote thing are more like contributors during the
Mm-hmm.
contributor day,
Mm-hmm.
but all the volunteer roles are necessary. For example, guarding the door,
Yeah.
plugging in a mic, bringing SD cards to photographers,
Uh-huh.
pointing people to where are the lunch
Mm-hmm.
point and stuff like that. This you cannot do from at the distance. And the thing you mentioned about the media, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like photographers will um, people will bring back the SD card to from the photographers to the communication and marketing
Mm-hmm.
room where people are going to publish content.
Mm-hmm.
That would be maybe the only thing that could have been done remotely, but it's not. It's all in one place. So
Yeah.
it's easier.
Yeah. So there is another team for publishing and other stuff.
There are many teams. Yes,
Yeah. And
it's
maybe
actually
they have
the
their own
many.
volunteers.
Yes, every actually in how it works is like every team,
Uh-huh.
organizing team of WordCamp Europe.
Yeah.
We, as the volunteer team, we were in contact with all of them,
Uh-huh.
and we asked, "What do you need? How many
Uh-huh.
volunteers to do
Mm-hmm.
what, when,
Mm-hmm.
where?"
Ah,
So they
right.
they gave us they fill a list.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I tell you about the attendees service. This is a
Mm-hmm.
team for
Mm-hmm.
WordCamp Europe. So they gave us a list. We need 20 people in the Thursday morning, 20 people in the Friday morning, and only 10 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that for that team, we need that many people for that role, and there
Yeah.
are other roles. And for example, the
Mm-hmm.
content team is in charge of speakers, of the schedule of the event,
Mm-hmm.
the content of the event. So they listed some of the roles that they need. For example, MCs who are
Mm-hmm.
going to host, to have the mic and introduce the speakers. Also, people for to bring, for example, the speakers from the quiet room, the green room, to the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will maybe hold the microphone or stuff like that. So this was given by each team. Each team tells us um, we need that many at that time for this shift. For example, the community team need people at the swag station. They need at the community booth. People who will help during the contributor day to orient people at tables and also lunch, as I say, during the lunch. So
All
that
right.
kind of thing. So every
Yeah.
team give us their needs, and we fill in that tool, and all the volunteers we onboarded so far will be able to choose their preference.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing it so much in detail. And now I think we've talked enough about the volunteer team related tasks. So now let's talk broadly about WordCamp Europe. So, what's most exciting thing that's going to happen this year at WordCamp Europe that you'd like to share for people who would be joining WordCamp Europe or who are considering yet not decided if they should join WordCamp Europe? I don't know whether the tickets they're still there or already sold out yet. What is it? They
No,
should check out.
yeah, they are still tickets. So
Ah,
if you who listen now have no tickets, do not hesitate. If you can come,
yeah,
because it's really for me it has been every year an amazing experience.
yeah.
And the first time I went to WordCamp Europe was the first WordCamp Europe in
Wow.
2013 in the Netherlands. So it was
Really?
11
That's
years ago.
amazing.
Yeah, and at that time it was about 750 uh,
Uh-huh.
people, and for me
Oh,
that was wow, that was amazing because I met people from all continents,
yeah.
different, very different background and
Uh-huh.
cultures and languages, and it was amazing to be there. And
Mm-hmm.
also I realized over the years that what I do by organizing events and
Mm-hmm.
other things that I do as well, in mostly in the community team, but I contribute in other ways that maybe we
Mm-hmm.
can talk about that later.
Yeah.
So to realize over the years that you don't need to contribute to the core as a coder
Yeah. Yeah.
to be a contributor. So I helped in so many ways, not only organizing events. So
Mm-hmm.
this is also very good when you feel that you are part of something. And at some point, there was a friend one who, here in Geneva, who told me, he said, he said, I don't understand the what's the all the fuss and all the buzz about the community. Is WordPress is just a tool. So for that person, it was,
Uh-huh.
and I was, wow, and not for me, because it actually could have been something else
Yeah.
than WordPress for me. What I really enjoy is to meet people from everywhere,
Yeah.
from all over the world,
Me
and
too.
and to be able to share experience, and I would like to travel more. I would like to go to many meetups everywhere
Mm-hmm.
in the world. Oh, that would be great. uh, I really like we can learn from each other, and that cultural richness we can bring and to others, and other can bring to us. It could have been something else than
Mm-hmm.
WordPress actually, but with WordPress it was easy to yeah, thanks to the WordCamp, and especially WordCamp Europe. And next year I hope I can come to WordCamp Asia. I would like to be back in Asia as well. So
You
this is
should.
yeah, that's what excites me the most. I mean, to meet people, to make friends with people, and learn from each other. This is what I
Right.
like the most.
Right.
But your question was more like what people what to say to make people come, or
Yeah.
as you
Yeah.
ask me. So so it depends. It depends on your personality.
Yeah.
If you are like me, you like to meet all the people. But some
Mm-hmm.
people are more like to learn and go attend all the talks, and some people focus on the, I don't know, the technical talk, and some other are going to meet all the sponsors and to maybe have business, to find business partners or to find customers. There's really a very diverse uh, type of people, but also type of reasons that why attending. What I like very much at WordCamp Europe is what is called a social event that is happening on the Thursday evening. This is in local WordCamp, we usually call that the speaker dinner.
Right,
Um,
right.
yeah, so it's a party for the people who make the event. So
Yeah.
it means the organizers, the volunteers, the speakers, sponsors, media partners, and some others like contributor day, table leads, for example. So all these people are the people without whom the event could not happen.
Yeah.
So it's basically everyone who is not just a simple attendee. But simple attendee is very good, you know. It's just that this party on the Thursday evening is for all those people I listed. So
Yeah.
I like it very much, and especially because when I was in Athens and Porto, it it was in such great locations. In Porto, it was wow, it was on the port. We could see the sunset on the Atlantic Ocean,
Wow.
and it was in a very modern, like symbolic building, looking a bit like a sail. It was
Wow.
wonderful, and there were like Portuguese traditional dancers, so that was really nice. Uh, and in Athens, it was in a beach club, so it was on the beach. Also, the sunset, always facing west. So, oh, that was also really nice. And this year is a surprise for now. We don't
Oh,
stay until a few days
uh-huh.
before. So
Right.
a few days before, all the people I said, all the people who have signed up among the speakers, sponsor, organizers, volunteers, media partners, they will receive the information like where it is.
Yeah.
For now, it's a surprise. So
All
this
right.
is an event I like on the Thursday evening.
Uh-huh.
Of course, there is everything during the event.
Uh-huh.
And on the Saturday evening, there's the after party. So this is also
Wow.
a good moment when you can talk with everyone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And yeah. Um, during the event, there are not only talks, actually, there are also panels. And there
Uh-huh.
is also a format that is called WordCamp Connect.
Right.
Last year it was WP Connect, and in Berlin, I remember it was WP Cafe, but now it's WordCamp Connect. And this is really nice because it's more casual and people from the audience can join the conversation. You know, it's not like it's not like the talks that are more formal. You know, you have a speaker and
Yeah.
the audience and the slides and stuff. On WordCamp Connect, they are more like topics and people who talk about that, but it's more like a conversation and people can join, and it's not far from the the catering and sponsor area. Like people walk by, you know, and join. So
Yeah.
it's like very casual, I would say. This is nice, and also what I yeah I you asked me what I will enjoy, but I think I cannot choose because I think I will enjoy every
Yeah.
single minute. So
Yeah. All right. First thing these are the things that would also interest me. The people, right now also I feel like, okay, so if it was not for WordPress, I would not ever have met a person from Switzerland and talk to her in person just like this. And I have so many friends from all different continents. I met many Asian friends in our local WordCamp whenever they came. Others I met them in WordCamp Asia, the first WordCamp Asia in Bangkok. Were you there?
no, I wasn't neither in Bangkok nor in
Ah,
Taiwan, but I hope
okay.
to be next year in the
In
Philippines.
Manila.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah,
hope.
you should come. Let's meet up there. Yeah, so I made so many friends from other parts of the world in Bangkok, and yeah, like we've been talking with them online on Slack, on Twitter, and other places. But to meet the people you've been talking for so long in person, it's really a wonderful feeling. So I feel so much blessed to have that feeling. Okay, I got friends from all of the different places, and yeah, the thing that um, the cultural diversity, the cultural richness that you get to experience within the community. This is really beautiful. And yeah, I also wanted to say something about your friend who. Okay, so WordPress. What is this community? WordPress community. First, so I think he did not know maybe that it's the community. That's why the tool exists. So maybe he didn't have the idea how that tool is being developed.
No, no, they know why
Ah,
they know and participate in our local events
right,
as well.
right, right.
But just is it's not maybe maybe it's okay. I mean, I respect also the opinion of
Mm-hmm,
other people. I mean, for that person is not that important.
mm-hmm.
For me, it drives me. You know, I to
Yeah,
go to that event with almost 3,000 person and people from all the continents and a lot of countries. This drives
yeah,
me, and I I pay to go. You know, I'm not working for a company that pays
yeah,
my travel and stuff.
yeah.
So for me, if, in some interview, someone asked me, "Why do you pay from your own pocket to go there?" I said,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because it's like why do you pay to go to holidays? You know, it's to for the pleasure to be there. So
Yeah,
it's a bit
yeah,
the same for me.
yeah.
And but that friend maybe as this, if this does not give them like pleasure to do so, so
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Yeah,
no problem. So
yeah.
yes, it's okay.
Yeah,
um
and yeah, one more thing about the WordCamp Connect you mentioned. It's renamed WordCamp Connect, right? Um, Last year for WordCamp Kathmandu, we also tried to do something new, and one of the ideas was to do something like WP Connect of WordCamp Europe. So we tried something, but in the Nepali version. So we coined a new name for that. So it was called WP Chautari. So Chautari means sort of that's like a space under a tree. So that's where people meet up and just talk the everyday stuff. Very informal, but also kind of yeah, but very important place for discussing the everyday stuffs and local politics. And so that used to be a traditional space that's mostly can be still found in villages of Nepal. So we had practiced that last year, learning from WordCamp Europe, and I think it was quite a success. Yeah, so I'd like to someday participate in the original WordCamp Connect.
Yeah, welcome whenever you can, whenever you have a visa. So join WordCamp Europe, and I will try to come to WordCamp Asia, and depending on the money I make, because in
Hmm.
the next year, it
Yeah,
depends.
yeah,
I would
yeah.
love to travel more. I would love to go to a WordCamp in India. And
Hmm.
why not to come to WordCamp Kathmandu or WordCamp Nepal?
Kathmandu.
That
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
great.
That
I
would
had
be
two
great.
friends. I think I had two friends who joined in 2018. I
Hmm.
think they came. Um, I'm not sure. Were you there in 2018? I'm
2018.
not sure if they just went to Nepal for like hiking in the mountain. I mean,
Oh, okay.
trekking, or if they
Uh-huh.
joined the World Camp Cambodia. I'm not sure. We can
Okay.
talk about them offline later.
All
And
right.
yes, I would love to be back in Nepal because I was
Yeah, you
in
should.
Nepal, yeah, in 90 past millennium, you know. Last, not, it was like 26 years ago, something like that. Yeah, I went to
That
Nepal. That
means it's
was
time for you to come back.
yes, it's time. It was before, there was the beginning of the internet, but
Mm-hmm.
way before the smartphone and everyone has a
Yeah, yeah,
laptop and
yeah,
stuff. So
yeah.
I remember I was going to like cybercafe to write
Mm-hmm.
a message for my parents back home,
Oh, oh,
and I had no other connect. And now we are very much every time on
yeah,
our
yeah, yeah,
devices, but at that time, no.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I was there for quite a few months actually in
Mm-hmm.
India and Nepal, and I
Mm-hmm.
learned a little bit of Nepalese. I can say
Really?
Sunita Didi, tapaiलाई कस्तो हुनुहुन्छ?
Wow, you still remember after so
Yeah,
so long time.
early.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was
मलाई
nice.
एकदमै सन्चै छ।
Sanchi cha, ठिक
सोध्नु
छ?
भएकोमा धन्यवाद।
Nice.
Wow.
So I can practice if I come back and if I come to WordCamp
Yeah,
Kathmandu.
yeah. You're already
Yeah.
very good.
Yes, but that's the only word I remember. No, I could maybe understand a little bit. I can
Yeah.
practice a little bit. And in
Wow.
Hindi also I can understand a little bit of Hindi.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I was in New Delhi and
Uh-huh.
Mumbai.
Uh-huh.
So, oh, you know what? In Mumbai I was even an extra in a
Uh-huh.
Bollywood film,
Wow.
in Yes Boss with Shah Rukh Khan.
Oh,
So yeah,
really?
yeah, it was quite an experience. So
Uh-huh.
yes.
Okay. So that's wonderful. So nice to know this what was the personal part of you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And
All right, then I think yeah, are you saying something?
no, just that I would love to travel again like I used to do before. Now my
Yeah, yeah,
kids are
please do.
teenagers and they are still in the school, but they are
Uh-huh.
teenagers, so I can live more, you know.
Yeah.
I would like to I would love to come with them to
Mm-hmm.
Asia for traveling, but that means it has to be during the school holidays, so it's
Yeah.
not easy to synchronize
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yes, probably I can travel a little bit more. I
Mm-hmm.
was so happy when I saw that WordCamp Asia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was the COVID year, but I mean, it
Yeah.
was planned the first time for
Yeah.
2020.
2020, yeah.
Yeah, in 19, I was so happy. Yes, WordCamp Asia, and maybe next will be the WordCamp Latin
Uh-huh.
America. I
Uh-huh.
would love also to see more of
Uh-huh.
communities in Africa. There are
Yeah.
thriving communities right now in the east part of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
We had some talk with a contributor from Kenya, and
Mm-hmm.
so I'm very happy to see it rising, and to to see that it's not just like in the beginning. It began in the USA, and that, but now it's like everywhere. So this I love it really, man.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I'd love to go to the WordCamps all over the world, but I have not gone out of Asia yet. Hopefully, I may sometime in the future. All right, so now I think since we talk a little bit about you as a person, your history with Nepal and India, Asia in general, so maybe we can talk a little bit about your history with WordPress. When did you get started in WordPress, working with WordPress? How did you start contributing to the project? How did it start, your origin story with the WordPress?
Okay, so my origin story is always very fun. Is that I discarded WordPress as a tool.
Ah,
In 2006, I was looking for. I wanted to leave my job because I wanted to be at home,
uh-huh,
to have kids. I didn't want to be in a job for the early years of my kids, and I had started to do some really small websites with like HTML, CSS, or stuff. And in 2006, I was auditing a few
uh-huh,
CMSs to choose which one I'm going to use. And I tried WordPress. I believe it was like version 1 point something, or
Mm.
not even 2. And I say, no, this one I don't want. I don't want to use that tool because it's not multilingual.
Uh-huh.
And I think that Annemieke last week she
Yeah.
mentioned that with you, because we actually were I met her with that other community, or that other
Uh-huh.
CMS, you know. It was
Right.
called CMS Made Simple.
Yeah.
Not to be mistaken with CM Simple. It's another one,
Mm-hmm.
is CMS Made Simple. And
Mm-hmm.
at the time, the community it's quite small compared to WordPress, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
it was really nice. And we had around in 2012, I was switching back to WordPress. But
Mm.
at the last year, I used that. There was it's like it's like a word, sorry, it's like a WordCamp, but it was called the Geek Moot,
Uh-huh.
and it was in England,
Uh-huh.
in Northampton, I believe. And I went there and I met Annemieke Bevelet there. And that
Uh-huh.
was really, really, I was so amazed a few years after that when I saw her arriving as well in the WordPress community, you know. That was fun. So in 2012, I saw that WordPress 3, yeah, 3.0 was released.
Uh-huh.
And with that, it was merged into core the multi-site feature.
Mm.
So I
Right.
said, okay, let's forget it about the multilingual. I can use a plugin for that. It's not in the core, but I can use
Uh-huh.
a plugin for that. At least there is a multi-site, because I had started to do a kind of offering, yeah, well, something that multi-site was helping. And at the same
Right.
time, I discovered BuddyPress.
All right.
You know WordPress?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I
do.
wanted to do like kind of community site for something
Ah,
local here. So
right.
actually, I came back to WordPress because of
Mm.
multi-site and BuddyPress, and I'm a
Wow.
very much a fan of multi-site.
Yeah. True.
And by the way, I use often multi-site to do the multilingual sites
Mm.
with a plugin called multi-site language switcher, multi-site
Mm.
language switcher.
Right. Right.
So it's a multi-site, and each subsite is another language, and you
Yeah.
just link the content from
Mm-hmm.
one language to another. So
Right.
I love this plugin. And so yes, multi-site WordPress, that's what made me come back to WordPress, so in 2012. And then
Mm-hmm.
I discovered that there was a meetup group in Geneva, so I went
Mm-hmm.
to that group.
Mm-hmm.
And then that happened, what I said in the beginning of our
Yeah. Yeah.
conversation. So I began to organize the meetup.
Right.
And then the following year, like 2013, I said,
Uh-huh.
wow, there is a WordCamp Europe. There is that thing in the Netherlands. And I went there,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
was amazing to meet everyone.
Uh-huh.
And yeah. But for 3 years, I did only that, only
Uh-huh.
organizing meetup, before to organize a WordCamp in 2016.
Mm.
Then I became a volunteer at WordCamp Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And since 2 years, I contribute more,
Uh-huh.
uh,
Right.
because I have also been doing other things, especially since 1 year, actually. Um, since last year, I've been invited to participate to the community summit,
Mm.
and
Right.
we were about 100, 120. So when you see all the conversation there that are very important for the future of the project,
Mm-hmm.
you feel more involved, you know. And I was
Right.
grateful as well to have been invited, and
Mm-hmm.
also invited for the flight, you know.
Mm.
So
Right.
that
Right.
allowed me to go there,
Uh-huh.
flight and 3 nights of hotel. So
Mm-hmm.
that, if not, maybe I mean, I was invited, so it was yeah, it was like rewarding enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt the importance of what we do, and that we are 43% of the web, that
Yeah.
we cannot just, we have a kind of representation role, you know. What we do in our community must be, it is 43% of the web, so it is seen
Mm-hmm.
outside. That's why it's very important also to avoid drama, and to make things right and fair and inclusive. And uh, accessible and everything. So we represent,
Right.
so we have to set the example. And after that, I contributed also to the contributor mentorship program of the
Right.
community team. Um, the first cohort was last summer,
Mm-hmm.
23, but
Mm-hmm.
I could not participate because it was during the school holidays. And
Ah,
yeah,
right.
but I participated to the second cohort and help also with some facilitation.
Right.
And yeah, other things, I also joined a project called Gather Press.
Right. Right.
Um, we made a proposal on the community site to to have our tool Gather Press to replace
Mm-hmm.
the use of meetup.com
Oh, okay.
slowly, and first like a pilot program, to
Right.
have the organization of our meetup that would maybe
Mm-hmm.
have another name
Mm-hmm.
on the wordpress.org uh, network and ecosystem.
Right. Right.
So what would be great would be, for example, now if when you organize a meetup, you contribute so many hours, to find a venue, find a speaker every
Right.
month,
Right.
and go buy the snacks and the chips and I don't know for the
Mm-hmm.
meetups, and
Mm-hmm.
then those hours are not counted. It's not
Right.
written
Right.
on your profile. It's not,
Right.
don't know how many hours you dedicate for that.
Yeah,
If
that's
that
true.
was in the wordpress.org site, as
Mm-hmm.
much is same than when you write a comment on any
Yeah.
make site, it's
Yeah.
listed on your profile. When you commit, it's listed on your profile, and
Right.
it's linked to GitHub and stuff. So if those were organized on wordpress.org network via GatherPress, so you would be credited for all the hours all the meetup organizers or even speakers are giving to the project.
Right.
Because in my opinion, it's very important to track how many hours people contribute,
Mm-hmm.
because there are some areas that are what I call invisible, what is called invisible contributions,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
it's not good. Also, if people are volunteering, but also
Mm-hmm.
if people are sponsored, are contributing sponsored, it's important to have some metrics of
Right.
why, when, how much stuff.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Yeah,
So
that's really, really important, I think, especially for maybe non-coding contributors like me, or I don't know about you.
yeah, no,
Uh,
same. Same.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, like you mentioned, those who contribute to the code, everything is kind of recorded in their WordPress.org profile. But yeah, we also do get the speaker badge, WordCamp organizer badge. But yeah, it doesn't definitely count the hours that we spend. So yeah, that would be really wonderful. And I think the proposal that you have submitted, that's about a native WordPress solution instead of a third party like
Yeah,
meetup.com. Yeah,
and
even
this
though that's wonderful, yeah, it's better to have a native solution to WordPress. So yeah, that sounds like a wonderful
yeah,
idea.
and also the meetup.com doesn't offer or sponsor anything. I mean, the WordPress community
Right,
support pays meetup.com for all the 700 more
right, right,
rooms. So yeah.
right. Right. That would be so wonderful. So, is there any update that you'd like to share on that? What's happening or at what phase you are currently?
So we are waiting for the green light from the leadership, from someone from
Right.
the leadership, and once it's okay, I think
Mm-hmm.
soon, um, the meta team will build that with the GatherPress plugin to implement that on the WordPress.org network.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be a pilot program, and the meetup group which are interested to join the pilot program will be able to join that.
Ah,
So
right,
yeah.
right, right. That's nice. something new, I think, for our viewers to, for our viewers information, for me as well. Thank you so much for sharing. And I think we have almost covered the questions that I had. So maybe if Siba has anything to ask, I would like to hand over it to you.
Okay. Thank you so much. It's a very funny conversation and it's very insightful. And yes, the things we need to cover is almost covered. And I would like to ask something about work-life balance and wellness tips, and that things also matter to us because of your experience, we are just growing. You have a lot of experience about the work-life balance. Do you have anything to add about that? How you balance your daily life or your working life or other things?
Okay, so this is really nice that you ask that, because I recently realized that I do a little bit too much for WordPress.
Mhm.
And because I am not sponsored, I should contribute only out of my working hour. But obviously, doing all of this, you know what I mentioned. And at some point, it all happened in the same time, you know, because being a WordCamp Europe organizer, it's okay. You have a team, you have process and stuff. But if at the same time you publish a proposal for Gather Press, you take part in the contributor mentorship program. I'm also a mentor for two WordCamp, upcoming WordCamp in France. So mentor is now called event supporter. So they participate to the meetings on Slack, you know, there's a lot of things. And I'm not currently very good with my work life. It's not work-life balance, it's WordPress life balance. And I I have two projects, two professional projects that I started, but there is not only so many hours in a day, you know. So you cannot create like another 24 hours in the same day. That would be great. Sometime to put pause on time and finish everything that you have to do and then restart the clock, you know, and everyone freeze. That would be fun. But it's not like that. So now that, for example, someone asked in the community team, someone asked me if I wanted to be one of the event manager and have access to the help scout and like, you know, to vet a new event and stuff. And I told, I'm sorry, but I'm going to say no. And that was difficult because I'm always so excited by everything WordPress, you know. I said, I would like to say yes, but I'm going to say no because of different things that I want to do. And there is WordPress, contributing to WordPress, WordCamp Europe there. And I have those professional projects. So one of my projects is to teach to people how to do it by themselves, and it's like a solopreneur club, if you want. It's called the Interaction Site. I hope it's okay that I mention, and because I'm live, you cannot cut, you know.
No, no
It's a membership site for people to support each other, like, and it's not only teaching them about WordPress, but also stuff like social media, how to choose a good domain name, how to do an email campaign and stuff like that. But especially to support each other, and especially because everything that I found like that I would have loved to find a few years ago, it was always in English. And what we want is to provide also communities in their own languages. So this is important, and in the future there will be retreats and meet with other solopreneurs. So that's one of the project, and the other one is a bit like what you do actually. It's a web show focused on WordPress that we are starting with two friends in the coming weeks. It's called WP Mondo, but it's not launched now. And actually, in the first one, um, in the first one I mentioned, interaction site, what is good is for the members is to follow the creation of what the members are doing, you know. So we do together, we learn together, and we say, okay, this is, for example, my email campaign for that project. See how I build it. So all the members can share. You know, it's like mutual support and learning from each other. So this is, I think, one of the my main topics, what drives me is help each other, learn from each other, speak many languages. I mean, I don't, but I mean to make it available to people who are not in English. I mean, the most of the content on the web when you want to learn something is available in English. So if things are available in other languages, that's for me it's very important to not make all the languages of the world like disappear under the English. You know, it's very important that a lot of languages, a lot of cultures, those are topics that I like very much. So empower the other cultures, other languages, and to be alive, you know, and that I like very much. For example, if suppose you wanted to join my membership site, you could show how things are happening in Nepal for a solo entrepreneur. You could host an event for my membership site in your country, in your language, in your region. So this is what drives me, you know, to make the world connected. You know, there is like, you know, the term globalization, you know, so it's like if there are two ways to do that. There is one way that everyone is going to speak English and everything is going to be the same everywhere, and this, I'm not for that. And the other way is the fact that we empower everywhere, but everywhere has their own specificities, you know. And this is what I like, because it's a cultural richness to learn from each other and to save languages and stuff like that. And when things happen in other places, so it's good because for example, for now, suppose you look for a course, I don't know, an email marketing course, you will most of the time find English only. And if you join a course and there is like a community or like a forum or whatever, if you don't speak English, you can't. But even if you speak English, you will maybe not meet people from your region, and maybe some of the things that are taught are not the same. For example, in the US, they will never address stuff like the local laws of a country about cookies, I don't know, or about privacy. So if you have a course about this kind of thing that are very much local, so then it applies to you, you know. So yeah, this is what I like, you know.
It's all about work. It's all about I have asked about your exercise, your daily routine, and your food
Yeah,
and other things
yeah.
that makes you healthy.
And
That
at the same time, community building is also making friends around the world. So this is really nice, and this is what I found also with the WordPress community, and that I want to apply to this community that I want to build for my business project. You know, because as said Sunita, she said was so happy to have met people from so many countries. So this is about what I really like, to bring people together and travel, and if we can, taste new food, listen to other music from another
also
country, another region. That's really nice.
very important to us because we all stay at a room and sit on a chair and working on a table, and it's our daily habit. And we have lots of work, and we have lots of business, and we have lots of dream and something that our life target. But we also need to think about ourselves, our mental health, our body health, our eyes, our everything about our body. And that should be also, that kind of program also initiated in a WordCamp also. Like we can give this kind of mentorship program to our volunteer team who are joining our volunteer or organizer team. In last time, 2023 in WordCamp Asia, there was a separate yoga room for the WordCamp attendees. That is a
Yeah,
thing that we need, a refreshment, not like the
yeah,
one for the coding or doing task or other things also.
yeah.
That,
There is also a yoga track, a wellness track at WordCamp Europe.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I also
so
found one post about the picnic site near the venue. What is
Yeah,
about?
that's me. But it's not something official from the WordCamp Europe. That's independently organized. I did that actually in 2016 when I was in WordCamp Europe in Vienna.
Mm,
There were two persons who organized a picnic in a park near the venue, and
mm,
I loved the idea. But there was no in the following years. So
mm,
when I was in Porto, it was in a beautiful park. So I said, okay, let's do a picnic there. So it's a privately organized thing. It's me, but it's not as part. It's not as an organizer of WordCamp Europe. It's me as me. you know.
it's like a side event or something like that, or
Yes, it's a side event on the Wednesday.
so anyone can join, or
Yes, anyone can join. I love to know in advance who will join. That's why I added a registration form on my website. So I know, oh, this people is coming. Oh, yes, this one is coming. And there
Mm,
are, yeah, there are already 40 people who registered there.
mm,
But it's not, it's outside. So I hope it won't rain.
mm.
And
It's a good idea.
everyone bring their own food. There is nothing like there is no like formal entry and ticket and stuff. It's just outside a picnic and bring your friend and
The scenes
let's
of the party.
talk together and yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you, Sunita, for initiating the conversation. And you have also covered lots of topic. And thank you very much. And if you have anything to add, or if you add any
Um,
other points that to be mentioned, you have prepared for the webinar, you are welcome to share with us, like our wrapping conversation.
yeah. So
If you
so
have-
I want to thank you because you do that with some of the organizers of WordCamp Europe. I have seen Annemieke last week and Ohaya as well. That's very nice. And maybe another one that I missed. I maybe with Ruth.
Ruth, yeah,
Yeah,
Tanali.
Ruth. Yes, that's really nice to see that and that you are a media partner. And I thank you to have invited me there. And I hope to see you soon.
Soon.
So
If
you,
I got
Shiva,
visa.
tell me again. Sunita has no will not come, but you will be there. You applied for your visa, right?
Most probably
Yeah.
I'll come.
Okay. So
I
I
have
will see
some
you there.
plan for the physical podcast or interview for the WordCamp Europe. I have a team. I have applied with the team. It's a group visa application. I don't know if they give. I will come. If they will not granted our visa, this online presentation or online webinar is also good for us. We are spreading our knowledge, our spreading our words.
Yeah.
That's enough for us.
So if you cannot come, or if you can come, see you in a few weeks, and if not, and for Sunita, so see you. Hopefully, I will try to be in Manila in
Philippines.
25. So I will see you around somewhere. Okay,
Yeah.
and thank
Yeah,
you.
let's plan for Manila. That's what we ended our conversation with Annie last week as well. So yeah, after the conversation, I really, really like to meet you in person. So yeah, let's plan for Manila.
Okay, we'll do that. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
It's
So yeah, let's wrap up.
okay.
All right. So yeah, once again, thank you so much. And we wish you the best for WordCamp Europe. It's going to be a blast, as it used to be. Now that you're in the team, it's going to be, I think, a much, much better one.
Yes,
And I would
it has
like
always
like
been
to
good. Yeah, it has always been. It's
yeah,
not because
yeah,
of me, but it's all the
yeah,
team.
yeah, all the team. And yeah, with your energy, I think yeah, it will be wonderful, even more. And hopefully I can join it sometime soon in the future, WordCamp Europe too. Yeah. And thank you so much. It's really nice to talk to you. And yeah, once again, let's meet up in person very soon. And yeah, maybe we can just wrap up for now.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.